See, I quit. I ain't working 100 days. I ain't working 100 days. I quit.
I came over here.
That don't mean it ain't gonna travel.
It ain't gonna travel. It don't travel.
It travels.
No, it don't.
You don't think so, but it do.
Something like broke out my, I think it was them damn
That was that damn fart you just let out.
No, the feathers. That broke my damn knee out. That thing.
Thank yourself.
Stomach feel better though.
I bet it do. I can't sit up there till it add up.
It's add, girl.
Nope. Matter of fact, I got something for that. Working with you today. And the moment you let one go is the moment I. Don't you let one go on camera. I'm gonna need you to excuse yourself.
Why?
Cause.
Just a fart.
No, you don't have just farts.
See, if you don't let it
You
come
have
out one
things-
end, come out the other.
You have things that you got to run from. You got to run. It lingers.
It don't.
Yes, ma'am, it do.
Nah.
Very much so.
Nah, don't do that.
Is it pickle eggish?
Nah. It don't even stink. What? It don't.
Why is you sitting here lying?
My fart don't stink. It just,
Really?
you know.
Okay. Why you put your popcorn in the bowl?
Cause I need to be able to get into my.
Just put them in a bowl, friend.
What do you mean a bowl?
When are you gonna be on camera with a half
Bag.
bag?
Is this what I'm doing? Shit. Don't eat my damn snack.
We cannot be professional to save our life.
You can be real though. All right. What? You play too much. You play too much. All right. I'm itching. I think it's because of the damn. We're not doing. I don't care. We ain't doing nothing else with no damn.
I know fellas even get on you right now.
My knee. I think it did.
When did it touch your knee?
I don't know, but something itching my knee. And my knee red.
Never forget. And she wouldn't let me go. Talking about a school night. Man, fuck school. That's Michael Johnson. Is you crazy, lady?
Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Iris, and we're Sista Girlz.
So today we're going to talk about one of our absolute favorite artists in the world, Michael Jackson.
Hey.
Michael Jackson, I don't want to say like we idolized him because, you know, I don't believe in like idolizing. I want to say that we were the ultimate Michael Jackson fans growing up.
Absolutely.
Okay, and in lieu of the fact that this is the month of August and the 29th is his birthday.
It's his birthday. Yes.
So this episode is dedicated to all things Michael. Okay?
Yes, so all you Michael fans, tune in. We hope you enjoy. We're going to tell a couple of stories. Remembering where we were when certain events happened, and you know, just all things Michael, because this man was the greatest of all time. Yes, he was. He was truly the GOAT.
He was definitely the GOAT.
He was truly the GOAT.
So, all right. So let's start off by just kind of going back in time. For me, you know, that's a long time ago, many moons ago.
You better say that,
just
friend.
Remembering like how you even became a fan. Like, for me, I was at my aunt's house. I was young, probably no more than maybe 8, 9 years old. and I would hear these songs that she was playing, and it was a Saturday. You know how you clean and you play the music as you go, and that's what she was doing. And I was like, who is that? Like, who is this guy singing this song?
Right.
And like, you could hear the people in the background harmonizing. They were good too, but it was like I was so focused on the lead singer. Like, who is this? His voice was just like mesmerizing to me at that age.
He was with his brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, the group was the Jackson 5, and these were songs that, you know, they had made. And of course, I didn't like grow up in that era per se because I'm a 70s baby, but, you know, she was playing these songs. Oh man, by far my favorite is ABC.
Right.
That's my favorite, you know. And then I would say Ben. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, man, I love that music. So what was your?
So for me, I was a little bit older when I first became a Michael Jackson fan. It was during the 80s actually, and because you know I'm a 70s baby. So I didn't grow up, you know, knowing who they were. You know, you're not going to remember that. But in the 80s, there was this show called MTV. And this video came on. And I just stopped what I was doing in the middle of what I was doing. And I just stood there watching this guy on this video show just dancing. And I think the very first video that they aired was Rock With You. I think Rock With Me. Yeah, I think that was one of the first ones that they showed. And I was like, oh my God, he is so cute.
That he was. He
was so cute. And I just, you know, from that was what I remember. I remember being living on Willow.
Like off the wall.
Yes, off the wall. I was living on Willow, going to Wilson, and I remember, you know, hearing this voice. The voice was amazing to me, and he was just dancing. And I think that's what I liked. I liked the fact that he was an awesome dancer. He was dancing. And the beat, I love the beat of the song. So yeah, every time, you know, they showed a lot of white artists on this video show, of course, and but every time he was one of the first
African Americans, if I'm not mistaken, you know, don't quote me on this, but I want to say that he was one of the first African Americans on BET. No, VH1. He was one of the first on VH1 because at the time VH1 didn't play too many.
Well, I remember MTV being first. I remember MTV first, and I think VH1 came later.
Okay,
but I know he definitely was one of the first on.
He had so many firsts
on MTV. I know he was one of the first that they were playing on MTV. And like I said, I just, you know, from that moment on, I only was watching. Now I was into Madonna. I was into Cyndi Lauper.
Madonna was the one.
Yeah. But it was that Michael Jackson that I sat and couldn't wait for them to start, you know, playing his music. And then later it was, like I said, VH1, then it was BET, and then it was Video Soul, and then it was, remember the box?
The box.
Where you could call, I got in so much trouble about the box. Oh my God. I was running my mama bill up, calling, ordering his videos back to back.
I didn't do that because Tina ain't play, honey. I wasn't going to be running up nothing.
I got in trouble plenty of times about a Michael Jackson video because I was ordering my behind off.
What would you say growing up was one of your most saddest memories? Other than the death of Michael, what is one of your saddest memories of him throughout his career that happened?
I think the first thing I can remember is the Wacko Jacko thing. When all the media was calling him Wacko Jacko. I didn't like that. And I have an older brother that used to, my whole family knows I'm a Michael Jackson fan, so I had an older brother that used to tease me.
Yeah, all my cousins tease me.
And say, you know, things about him, and I would just get so mad and angry, and I would almost be in tears crying.
I would be crying.
But yeah, it was the Wacko Jacko thing. I felt bad for him because, you know, it wasn't that he was weird. It was, you know, a person who had to grow up fast.
I never really, but I live my life like this. Like, I never really cared about what anyone said about Michael Jackson. Like I don't care too much what they say about me. For me, it was just words, and I try to just, you know, not pay attention to that. I think the hardest thing as a young, at the time, I think I was a preteen, that happened to me, you know, emotionally in his career was when he got burned. I remember I had came home from school and I saw it on TV, and at the time that they were showing the footage, I didn't know how bad it was, and I broke down in tears. I mean, I'm just saying, like, this is how much he affected my life. Like, I felt like I knew him.
Right. I stayed home from school watching the news coverage of everything. Anything that broadcast that across the screen, I watched. And I couldn't go to school. I stayed home from school.
I remember my grandmother saying, "Oh, he's gonna be all right." And I was like, and I was just crying. She was like, "He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine." And then, you know, she was pointing at me because they showed that footage of him getting in the ambulance and he throws up his hand.
Wave up the
and that made me feel better. I was like, okay, he gonna be all right.
Yeah, that was a scary moment. That was a scary moment because
really
you didn't know if he was okay, and you heard him scream. I mean, if you watched the whole thing.
I saw the commercial.
He was screaming. So
I can't even imagine. That was back in the day. We had Jerry curls. Girl, let me tell you, I had a Jerry curl before. I always had what they used to call them
leisure curls.
Leisure curls. Hers was so cute, child, but mine not so much. Everybody. It wasn't for everybody. I put it like that. Jerry curls wasn't for everybody.
And I give props to my leisure curls. She used to do hair. Her name was Frankie. Hey, Frankie. I know you know who you are. Robin Lynn, my cousins, and her mom did hair at the time, and she did my curls for me. So yeah, she always had me looking right. So.
Michael's curl was always on point. I mean, I don't know whether you want to call it a Jerry curl, a leisure curl. I don't know what you want to call it. But it was cute though, you know. And that was back in the day when weed wasn't so popular or what have you. And he actually, some of it when he got burned and healed or whatever, he actually wore weed for a little while. But you couldn't tell because he looked fabulous.
And that was, you know, the time when he had to start wearing wigs. Yeah, he had to start wearing wigs and that. But
there's so many moments as a fan, growing up loving this man. Just so many moments that we have. Like we want to talk about the tour that came to Jacksonville. We live in Tampa, and they had the Victory Tour that came to Jacksonville, which is about 3 hours away from us. And at the time, we didn't know each other, and we had yet to meet. But I remember my mom saying that, okay, yeah, you can go. I'll make sure I get your ticket. Things happen. She was a single mom of 3 girls, and life happened, and you know, she couldn't afford a ticket. Broke my heart like into a million pieces. I think I literally cried for at least 3 nights straight. My eyes were puffy and red. People were like, "What's wrong? You have allergies? What's wrong with you?" But I just wanted to see him so bad, you know, and I just felt like that was my opportunity and it was a missed opportunity.
Oh yeah, I remember mine too. It was the same tour, the Victory Tour that he was doing, and a family friend was going. Lucky, she was going, and she had an extra ticket. And like I said, everybody know, big, huge Michael Jackson fan, and she called and asked, if I could go. This was gonna be a trip that I was gonna miss school. So Miss Freddie Mae Walden took it upon herself to not allow me to go because I was going to miss school. Now, friend, now you talking about somebody who was hot? You mean to tell me you gonna stand in between? Now, you my mom. You know how much I love this man, and you not gonna let me go because I'm gonna miss school.
I get it. I totally get it.
When I tell you I ain't speak to her for a whole month, I promise you, I got in so much trouble because I absolutely refused to speak to her. I would walk in the house and she would say, "You not gonna say good evening?" I walk in the house from school and she like, "You not gonna say hello?" And I'd just be like, "Hey," and keep going. And she was like,
"Oh, you knocked me down."
Right. She got me a couple times. Yeah, she didn't put up with it for much longer, but I only spoke to her when I had to, because boy, I held that grudge for a long time. Oh, I was so mad at my mom for that. But, being a mom now, I get it, but I don't know if that could have been Kira Beyonce.
No. Kira
That's my baby girl, and she, like me with Michael Jackson, that's how she is with Beyonce. Yeah. So, yeah, I think she would have ran away from home. She was gone. She was going to Beyonce.
She would have been calling someone, "You can't pick me up from Jacksonville?"
Right. She would have found a way to get there.
I mean, Michael, there's just so many wonderful things I can say about Michael. And some of you guys may not be fans, but the ones that are, you get it. You understand, where we're coming from. This isn't just two people being weird because it's Michael Jackson's birthday coming up.
Right. But
these are true, genuine fans who just actually love this artist and everything that he stood for. So, with that being said, as far as his music, Michael's music is everlasting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that you can put a limit to it. You can take something he made back when he was with the Jackson 5s and play it now, and it's still relevant. It's still absolutely amazing. His vocals were good. He was a good dancer. I mean, he was just the overall package that I just don't see in music nowadays. I guess the closest thing a lot of people tell me it would be Bruno Mars, I guess, with his singing ability or what have you. I know Chris Brown tried to imitate the moves as well as Usher. They're all big fans.
Yeah.
And they are all great artists within their own rights.
Right.
But they don't compare.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
Not at all. Like I said, you can put on a Michael Jackson album and just let it ride, all the way through. I don't think there was any album that I didn't like a song or two off of. I mean, I have ones that I love more than others, but there was always some, something that I could, ride out to. I don't remember an album that he put out that I didn't like.
It's a couple that I didn't like, but one in particular that I didn't like and I still don't like, and it's actually his biggest selling, biggest selling album, and it was the song Thriller, it didn't do it for me. And to be honest with you, I even pulled back. I was in deep, knee deep, I'm a Michael Jackson fan. And when Thriller came out, I kind of pulled back. I was like, what is he doing? I don't like that. I didn't like the concept. I don't know. Maybe it was because maybe I was at a different point in my life as a young lady, and I don't know. I just didn't like it. I still don't like it, but it's his #1 selling album of all time to this day. And
I just sit and look at these books and look at these pictures. Oh my God, look at that face. Oh.
Isn't he cute?
He is so cute.
Perfect afro.
I mean,
how could you not like that face?
so cute.
He is just so cute.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's missed. He's missed.
He's definitely missed.
What was one of your favorite Michael Jackson songs?
I have so many of those, but I think my all-time favorite Michael Jackson song is "Lady in My Life." I love that song.
Yes,
I really do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. What's your favorite?
I like Human Nature. I like the upbeat PYT. I like that one. Oh gosh, there's so many. It's so many. And I can't tell you one I don't like. I like everything. I like everything. So.
Did you remember the cartoon?
What?
Oh my God! Okay, here in Florida, in Tampa, it used to come on super early Saturday morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I would get up and
never miss an episode.
Oh my gosh, I love that cartoon.
Never miss an episode.
The Jackson 5.
And I don't think it lasted very long, but they just showed the same episodes over and over. But I loved it. I love the making of the Jackson family story. I like that. Yeah. That was good.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
The song 2300 Jackson Street.
What? Rewrite that video over and over and over again.
I had a few years back, this was before he passed away, I had the opportunity of going to that house, and I have cousins who live in Gary, and one of them took me to the house, and I was happy to be there and everything, but I was looking at the house like, how the hell did all of those people live in that little ass house? I mean, it was so tiny, truly like a little shotgun house. It was, I can't even imagine, like, you got all those kids.
Yeah.
And it looked to be no more than, you might have got 2 bedrooms out of it.
I don't know.
I don't even know. Like, it's so tiny. But, it's so tiny, guys.
Like all black mothers, Catherine made it do what it do.
They made it happen. When I tell you they made it work, they made it work.
Catherine made it do what it do.
But
thank you, feminist.
I was thrilled to be there. We had done some other things throughout the day, but it had turned to dusk, not quite dark, but it was dusk, and it was snowing. So I got out of the car to take some pictures, and someone, I don't know if a relative still lives there or there's just someone there that maintains the house. I don't know. They were kind of peeking out the window, and they were probably like, oh, another crazy fan. I don't know, but I was trying to be respectful and just, get my pictures and get in and out. But that's
a picture of the house.
So small.
I don't know how all the siblings, was in there, but she made it do what it do.
Yeah, they did.
So, to Gary, Indiana. Going back to Indiana. See, I remember.
They do like family reunions there.
I don't know. Probably.
One of the grandchildren on their page, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
They go back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice. He had so many, good things happen in his life, and he had so many tragic things, and he just wanted to live his life and have fun and just live life and just be free. And he got criticized for a lot of things that people didn't understand. One of the big things was the day he had the baby and was holding them up at the hotel. Yeah. Which, you could have looked at it both ways. It was dangerous, but, he was
a happy dad.
Yeah.
And sometimes,
he loved his kids.
people are impulsive and we do things. But when you're a super mega star, then that thing can blow up to be something big. Right. You know, you can't make mistakes in Hollywood, I guess. Of course. But Michael was amazing. And from what I can see, like on different documentaries, on the pages of his siblings, on the pages of his children on social media, he was an amazing dad. Right. So, if for nothing else, I give him props on that, okay? Some people question, are the kids his? Are your kids yours? Mama's definitely, daddy's maybe. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that to Michael now.
Right. He considered them his kids, so they were his kids.
And as far as I'm concerned, I say they're his kids. Right. I wasn't there. You wasn't there.
Right.
And Blanket looks so much like him, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, they're his as far as he was concerned. So that's all that matters.
He loved them. So that was enough.
Right. And he was a jokester, from what I understood. He liked to play jokes on people.
Excuse me. Yeah, I had a cousin who dated one of the guys. I guess he was the drummer for the Victory Tour, what have you. Anyway, she was telling me that they got invited to his house in Encino, and that Michael was very playful. He was nothing like what critics say he was, but he was like he played jokes on people. He was funny, just a nice person all around. And that, having someone close to me tell me that, I believe that over the tabloids any day.
Right.
I knew it before she told me anyway. Like, you could just tell Michael is a nice guy. Like I say is like he's still here because in my heart he will always be. So you'll hear me say is, or like talking about him like he's still alive.
Right.
Because he'll always be alive to me.
Right.
Okay, so. But there are other moments that I had in Michael's career that I didn't know if he was making the right choices. And this is his life. This was his life. As with mine, I could do what I want. He could do what he want. But like when he married Priscilla Presley's daughter, what's her name? Anna? Is that
what is something?
Lisa Marie.
That's not his real wife. I'm his real wife, so that's why her name can't come to mind. Because I'm his real wife. That's why her name escapes me.
I'm a sip on that.
You know we have arguments about that all the time.
Anyway, I just didn't think that was a good move. I don't know if that was.
I believe her name, Lisa.
I don't believe it was the right choice. I don't know if he was really in love with her, or even if she was in love with him. I don't know if it was a PR stunt. I really don't know what to think of it, and I wasn't pleased about it.
I know it happened fast.
Yeah.
It happened really quickly, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
People had so many questions.
I heard he had a crush on Whitney Houston, girl.
Yes, a big
Would
crush.
Would that have been something?
A big crush on Whitney, yeah.
I think they would have been a cute couple. I love Whitney, so yeah, I think that would have been really cute. And my understanding, he also had a crush on Beyonce.
That's a little tea I ain't know, but okay. I see it. Well, that could be true.
I heard that.
Really?
So, yeah.
I know he was fans of Destiny's Child. I think they performed for him on one of his little anniversary shows, But yeah.
Crush on Diana Ross. A lot of people say that he had a crush on Diana Ross. She was like old enough to be his mama, grandma. I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful because I love Diana Ross, don't get me wrong. But I don't think he had a crush on her. I think he just saw her
admired her, yeah.
Yeah, like a fan. Kind of like how we are with him.
Yeah.
And
I think it was just admiration. He watched so many old films.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of older people that he looked up to.
And
James Brown.
Liz Taylor.
What's the little... I had his name. But anyway, he was a dancer. Gene Kelly, I think his name was. He watched a lot of old movies from back in the day, and he was a real big movie buff like that. And so, when in her career, I'm sure, he watched, her and the Supremes coming up during that era, and I think they toured when they were with Motown.
Right.
And so that was just like maybe like a admiration thing, but it was rumored that he had some feelings for her that may have been romantic, but who knows? Nobody don't know. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But so then let's talk about his problems with vitiligo.
Yeah.
We're in the medical field. We know that that's a condition that affects the skin. The skin is your largest organ in your body, and Michael had that disease. With time, vitiligo can spread. It makes the melanin fade away in your skin.
Right.
So dark patches will become really light. And early on, Michael had problems with acne, really, really bad. And I remember several interviews that he gave where he would talk about, he would go to his mom, he'd be in tears about going through puberty, basically. And she would talk to him and try to coax him through it, like we would do with our teenagers today. And so if you can imagine having vitiligo on top of that, it's easy to hide when you dress from the neck down, but you have to hide it on your arms, you have to hide it on your hands, and other places that are visible to the public.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I read somewhere that's when he started wearing a glove, because he actually had it on his hand.
Right.
So that was one of the reasons that he started wearing that.
One glove.
Yeah, and the rumors about him bleaching his skin.
I know, that was so ridiculous.
How ignorant is that?
That was so ridiculous.
Okay, today people do that. But back then that was not something that people did. And Michael, from all the interviews I've seen, is a very proud black man, was a very proud black man. So I can't imagine him just, I don't want to be black anymore. Right. I'm going to start bleaching my skin. Get out of here with that.
Now, he did, do the plastic surgery because he was not happy with his nose at all.
But he admitted to that. But all the other things that they were saying, he was doing, he had, I think that one person was saying that he permanently tattooed the eyeliner on his eyes, and just a lot of crazy things that they were saying that he did. But even if he did, ain't that his face? Ain't them his eyes?
I guess
so. Let's be real. If I want to get a tattoo of something, it's my body.
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
Right.
If I want to bleach my skin, it's my body. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, because it was Michael. I mean, everything that he did, they wanted to have a weirdness behind it. It had to be, something weird, and something that just was outrageous and not out of control. And a lot of stories, what they don't know is a lot of stories Michael planted himself.
Yeah, I like the one interview he gave when he was talking about the disguises that he wears, and I just thought that was so cool because he couldn't go out in public as himself, because you can imagine how chaotic it would have been.
I'm sure it would have been crazy.
But so he used to wear different disguises, whether it be a little old lady or old man.
I think the favorite one he said was when he dressed as an old man.
So, to go out in public and then to see what normal people, I say normal people, he was normal, but to see what people do when you've been cooped up because you can't go out in the crowd. I mean, that probably was so much fun for him. I wish I could have been right along with him.
So who knows? Maybe one day when he was out there and sitting next to Michael Jackson and didn't even know it, because he used to dress up all the time whenever he went out. That was one of his favorite things he would do. And then of course, when he had the kids, you know, they made a big deal about him, you know, disguising them, you know, with the mask and stuff. But, you know,
I think that was just his way of not wanting the paparazzi to take pictures and all. He was just trying to protect them the way that he knew how to do it. And it was his choice to do that. So,
and who knows, maybe it was a fun game that he had with his kids that they played. You know, he turned it into a game, but it was to protect their identity. But you know, parents do all kinds of things.
We being real, so the realness of it is paparazzi takes pictures of celebrities and they sell them to the tabloids. So if I were him, I wouldn't want my kids to be monetized by somebody, you know.
Right, without my permission.
Right. So, hey, he did what he had to do.
Right.
There's just so many things that we could talk about when it comes to Michael. Oh my gosh, it's just...
Man, my wall was full of posters. I had the dolls when they came out. Oh my goodness. I had a jacket. I wore some socks with the little glittery stuff on it. I mean, yeah. When he blew up in the 80s, we was right there. I think they had cars that came out. They had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I had it all.
I'm going to say that I had a lot of Michael Jackson memorabilia over the years when I was young and what have you, but moving, things got destroyed or lost. The one thing that I missed the most, and when I found out it was missing, I was a grown woman, okay, with children, and I cried. My mom was working at the airport, and it was during the time of the Jackson tour, and Michael Jackson came through, and he autographed a piece of paper for her, and she gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
I cherished that. I think the first 2 weeks that I had it, I would just be like, every night before bed, I'd be like,
the signature, yes, ma'am.
You know? And
I get it. Because he could have blew his nose on the tissue, baby, and I would have held that thing.
So I moved some years back from Florida to Texas. And in the transition, the whole box of memorabilia, everything got lost. I have no idea where it is. If you're out there somewhere, guys, and you see something that says Nancy, at the time it would have been Mathis. Nancy Mathis in the box, and it had everything in it. And you see that little to Nancy from Michael Jackson. That's mine, guys.
Right.
It belongs to me.
It belongs to my friend.
I cried. I was a grown woman. And when I was putting my things, I was like, oh my God, where's my box? Where's my box? And it was gone. Right. And I cried. I remember crying because I lost his autograph.
Yeah, I cried when all my videos were missing. You know, back when we were growing up, we had this VHS thing.
Yeah.
And I recorded everything and anything that he was on. I wouldn't care if it was 2 minutes.
Remember that?
I wouldn't care if it was 2 minutes long, 2 seconds long, whatever it was, I was recording, push record. So I had a lot of things that I had on video that got missing, you know, over the years. So if you got a box of Michael Jackson videos, I was hold on to that because it could be, you know, worth something one day.
You know, my stuff, I just felt like it was priceless. Like I wouldn't have been able to put a monetary value on it. And to be straight up honest with you, if I had all my stuff today, if I had that box today, I would never sell it. I would never sell one thing out of that box. Not one thing. That's how much I cherished it. Like it's priceless to me.
Yeah.
So it's out there somewhere, guys. Return my box.
I know, right? That would be, oh my goodness, what if you got a delivery in the mail?
Girl, I would thank that person and I would have to give them a reward. For real.
So over the years, like I said, that was us, you know, not worshiping, but loving him.
No, definitely not worshiping.
Not worshiping, but loving him, you know, separately. And then I think that's how we clicked. when we first met.
Yeah, that's true.
When we first met, that was one of the things that we realized that we had in common.
Yeah.
Was that we both loved him. And so, you know, we would talk about anything that came on or anything that was about him. We couldn't wait to get together and talk about it.
Yeah.
And,
girl, we gotta talk about when he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a day that I don't think I will ever forget. So I was at home when the first news story that said that something was going on with him. At the time they weren't releasing, you know, what was happening. I just knew that they were saying singer, you know, Michael Jackson was found unconscious and was going to be rushed, you know, to the hospital. And I remember just sitting there glued to the TV. You know, I know he worked so hard, and I had just seen him a couple of days ago. I was watching another telecast where he was, you know, all hyped up and you know, getting excited about This Is It. And I had already, I said I didn't care what I had to do. I missed Victory, but I was not missing This Is It.
I said that too. Yeah.
And he was so hyped up and so pumped, and you know, he was telling everybody, you know, this is it. This is the final. This is it. So with that being him saying that, it was kind of eerie, right? You know, because it makes you think, you know, did he know, you know? And like I said, when that story came across a couple of days, you know, after watching that he was, you know, somebody had found him unconscious, I was like, oh, you know, he done worked himself, you know, he done got exhausted, and, you know, at that time I didn't know how serious it was. So,
well, I was at work and my phone was blowing up, and I work in pediatrics, so I would kind of look and I'd be like, you know, put it back, and it's just back to back. My phone was just, I'm like, who is this? Can't be an emergency. I know my kids ain't calling me at work. You know, it better be an emergency.
Right.
So by the time I said, okay, I'm gonna answer the call, it was Iris that was calling me.
And I couldn't.
My God,
I couldn't.
It was too devastating for me.
I couldn't even say the words. I just was crying so hard, and it was one of those, you know, the snot and the tears was flowing, the snot was coming out the nose, and the was happening, and I just was like, I couldn't believe when I heard the words that he was dead. I just was like, no, this is not true. This is somebody playing a crazy, horrible joke. You know, they just, you know, saying stuff. And why would somebody do this? And I was just trying to come up with all these scenarios in my head of what really could be happening.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to you on the phone, you know, it had been confirmed. That's when the doctors had came out. And then I knew for sure when Jermaine, you know, came out and made his statement. And I just, you know, Jermaine and Michael are like bread and butter. Peanut butter and jelly, and that's it. You know, when he look over to the left, you know, he looking for Jermaine.
Right.
You know, and when I saw the look on Jermaine's face, you know, that's when I believed it. That's when the whole time they were saying it, I was like, no, he gonna be okay.
Well,
but
even
when I saw Jermaine,
told me, I was like, no.
Yeah, because that's all she kept saying was no.
But then, I kept listening to her voice, and it just.
Yeah.
It was. I just knew it was true.
Yeah.
And I was done for the day. I couldn't function after that. I went in the bathroom. I cried. Yeah. I'm talking about. At that point, I think I was in my 30s or something. I was a grown woman, but it hurt me to my core. To know that we had lost somebody so talented.
I was devastated, like it was a family member.
Yeah.
I knew this man. He was a part of my family, and I remember calling my boyfriend then, but my husband now. I called him on the phone, and all I was saying was, he dead. And he, you know, he was really panicking because he was like, what's going on, honey? He was like, babe, who dead? Who dead? And I just kept saying, he dead. And he was like, babe, calm down. I was freaking him out. And when I finally got the words and said, Michael, and he was like, Michael who? Who is Michael? And I was like, Michael Jackson. He got silent. He made me. He was like, babe. And I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. My baby dead. He is really dead. He was like, honey, I'm finna go. But I was truly devastated. I could not. It's like the air got sucked out of me.
And to be honest with you, I didn't know how to feel. Like, I was sad, but it was like, I was in so much disbelief. I kept thinking that they were going to say no, you know, false alarm. I mean, I don't know. He surprisingly woke up. I don't know what I was hoping for, but I just didn't want to believe it was true. And so I left work and I headed straight to her house. My phone's still blowing up. And everybody's like, are you okay? Or like she said, like it was my husband.
Right.
You know, you okay? What, can we do something for you? All this, everybody, like all my family, friends, calling me. So I get to her house and I'm knocking on the door. I'm bawling. I'm a hot mess. Yeah. I probably should not have even been driving because I was really distraught. I'm so serious when I tell you. Yeah. I was crying like it was a family member. And she opened the door. There was no words needed to be spoke. Like, we just grabbed each other. We just grabbed each other. And we bawling loud, like
crying, like we said, like a family member had died, and me and her have shared so many losses. We lost our mom within months of each other. When my sister passed, it's just a lot of loss that we have in this friendship, and that's why, you know, when you have somebody, I don't care, mother, daddy, uncle, sister, brother, whoever it is, whatever you're going through, whatever you know, because we have fallouts. You have arguments, you fall out or whatever, but never let one single day go by without telling the person that you love them, that you're thinking about them, you know, because it's, you know, we get so caught up and we always, you know, get lost in our lives, and, you know, and everybody has a life, you know, but, you know, take the time to tell the person what they mean to you now.
Right.
Because
tomorrow's not promised.
It's not, and you don't know what can happen in the, you know, snap of a finger or a blink of an eye. You never know. And, you know, that was, you know, all the losses that we've shared over the years, that has been why we stayed so close and so in contact with each other, because you never know. You just never know. And you want that person to know how important they mean to you now. You know, I have like 3 good friends in my life that I couldn't imagine my life, you know, without these 3, you know, people. And I don't talk to them every single day. But it's when we do connect and when we do speak to each other, it's like we just pick up right where we left off. It's a mutual thing, like, you know, like we just talked to each other yesterday. Yeah. So, you know, I love these 3 people, Nancy, Dora, and Pam. I love these 3, you know, women, because they, in each different stages of my life, has brought different meanings and different things into my life, and I've learned so much from them. And I love the relationships that we have. You know, it's no jealousy, it's no animosity, it's no, you know, tearing each other down, you know, like so many times women do. Right. And it doesn't matter about race, you know, because it happens in all, you know, cultures, I'm sure. You
just
know,
women in general.
Exactly.
It happens, so.
You know, so I'm so happy that I have those, you know, 3 friendships, and I cherish them. And I love my brothers and I love my sisters, and, you know, and we tell each other all the time that we love each other all the time too. So, like I said, it's important, and you never know.
Yeah. So his death was devastating, and somehow we got past it. And we have memories, you know, to look back on. We have the music. We have all of his legacy that will never, ever, ever die out.
Right.
You know, we don't know what his kids are gonna bring, if they're even gonna be in the industry or not. But even if they're not, his legacy will always live on. He is the king of pop.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, he ain't gonna never die.
Period.
No, just like, you know, people still love Elvis. They don't love Michael.
Oh yeah, and the Beatles and all that. But I just, you know, I think he was bigger than all that.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Now, August 29th is coming up, guys, and take a moment that day and just love Michael. Play a song, reminisce.
Look at a video.
Millions upon millions upon millions of fans all across the world.
Yeah.
So just take the opportunity to reminisce on the man that he was. The father, he was somebody's son, you know what I'm saying? He was an artist, he was a producer, he was all these things. He was just multi-talented.
Yeah.
And more importantly, he was a man. He was a human being made from God, just like all of us.
Yeah.
So instead of harping on the negative when this day rolls around, because you're gonna see that in the in the tabloids and in the news and all of that online social media crap, you're gonna see all that. Don't let it get to you.
Because at some point in your life, every one of us loved Michael Jackson at one point in time.
You had to.
You love something about it, whether it was the music
the
or the moves or whatever it was.
Penny loafers.
You remember a moment where you was like, "Hey, that's Michael Jackson. He did that."
Yeah.
So, we just wanted to share with you guys. This day is gonna be hard for us because we miss him, and but he won't be forgotten. And we just wanted to share our experience with you guys and open up a little bit about ourselves again, give you some insight of, who we are and what makes us who we are.
Right. And he was a very big part of it.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in tribute to MJ, this is Sista Girlz. Remember, August 29th, take a moment, listen to a song, watch a video. Just remember MJ. All right.
Sista Girlz signing off, guys.
All right. Bye.